The Boy Who Changed Baseball. 8-year-old Tommy Murphy asks Lou Gehrig one innocent question at a hospital visit in May 1939. That makes the Iron Horse break down crying in front of a room full of sick children. Lou's answer to Tommy's question becomes the foundation for the most famous speech in sports history and changes how America thinks about gratitude, adversity, and what it means to be truly lucky. What Tommy doesn't know is that his pure, childlike perspective gives Lou the exact words he needs for a speech that will echo through generations and inspire millions of people facing their own impossible circumstances. New York City, May 15, 1939. Monday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, Pediatric Ward. Lou Gehrig walks slowly down the hallway toward the children's wing, carrying a bag filled with autographed baseballs, team photographs, and small toys that Eleanor helped him pick out the night before. This is his third hospital visit since announcing his retirement 2 weeks ago, part of an effort to stay connected to the community and find meaningful ways to spend his time, now that baseball is no longer the center of his life. Lou doesn't know what to expect from these visits. He's spent his entire adult life around professional athletes, coaches, sports writers, and fans. People who understand the language of baseball and competition, who know how to talk to him about batting averages and World Series victories, and the mechanics of turning double plays. Talking to sick children requires completely different skills, a gentleness and patience that Lou hopes he possesses, but has never really tested. He's nervous about saying the wrong thing, about being awkward or uncomfortable around kids who are facing challenges he can't fully comprehend. What do you say to a 10-year-old who might not see his next birthday? How do you inspire hope in children when you're struggling to find it yourself? Dr. Margaret Foster, the head of pediatrics, meets Lou at the entrance to the children's ward. She's a small woman in her 50s, with kind eyes and the efficient manner of someone who's spent decades caring for children in crisis. She explains that today's group includes 15 kids, ages 6 to 12, all dealing with various illnesses and injuries. Some are recovering from surgeries, others are managing chronic conditions, a few are facing treatments that will keep them hospitalized for weeks or months. Mr. Gehrig, these children have been looking forward to your visit for days, Dr. Foster says, as they walk toward the playroom. Most of them know who you are, from listening to games on the radio with their fathers. For them, you represent something normal and exciting from the world outside this hospital. Your presence here matters more than you might realize. The playroom is bright and cheerful, decorated with colorful murals of animals and storybook characters. 15 children sit in a semicircle on small chairs and wheelchairs, their faces lighting up as Lou enters the room. Some are clearly weakened by illness or treatment, others appear perfectly healthy except for the hospital bands around their wrists. All of them are staring at Lou with the kind of pure excitement that only children can express when meeting their hero. Lou feels an immediate warmth toward these kids that surprises him. Their enthusiasm is uncomplicated, free from the adult concerns about his retirement or his illness. To them, he's simply Lou Gehrig, the famous baseball player who came to visit them on a Monday afternoon. For the first time in weeks, Lou feels like himself again, instead of like a former athlete dealing with a terminal diagnosis. "Hello everyone," Lou says, settling into a chair that Dr. Foster positioned at the front of the semicircle. "I'm Lou Gehrig, and I'm very happy to meet all of you. I brought some presents, but first I'd like to hear about each of you. What are your names? And what do you like to do when you're not here at the hospital?" For the next hour, Lou listens to the children share their stories. Mary, age 9, loves to draw pictures of horses and hopes to be an artist when she grows up. Bobby, 7 years old, collects stamps and can name the capital of every state. Susan, 11, writes stories about adventures in faraway places and dreams of becoming a newspaper reporter. Each child shares something that excites them, something that defines their identity beyond their medical condition. Lou is struck by how normal these conversations feel, how naturally the children focus on their interests and dreams rather than their illnesses. They ask him about baseball, about playing in Yankee Stadium, about what it's like to be famous. Lou answers their questions honestly but simply, adapting his language to match their understanding while treating their curiosity with genuine respect. Then Tommy Murphy raises his hand. Tommy is 8 years old, with bright red hair and freckles scattered across his nose, and the earnest expression of a child who thinks deeply about things that matter to him. He's been in the hospital for 3 weeks, recovering from surgery to repair a heart defect that he's lived with since birth, a condition that has made him smaller and more thoughtful than most children his age. His parents bring him baseball magazines to read during his recovery, partly to keep him occupied, and partly because Tommy has developed an unusual fascination with statistics and player stories. He reads about batting averages the way other kids read comic books, memorizing numbers and achievements with the dedication of a scholar. Tommy has been thinking about Lou Gehrig's situation ever since his father explained why the Iron Horse had to stop playing baseball. The concept of someone so strong and successful being forced to give up what they love most has troubled Tommy in ways he can't quite articulate. He understands what it means to have your body limit what you can do, but he's never met anyone famous who faces similar challenges. "Mr. Gehrig," Tommy says, his voice clear and confident despite his small size, "I have a question, but it might make you sad. Is it okay if I ask it anyway?" Lou is intrigued by Tommy's sensitivity and directness. "Tommy, you can ask me anything you want. I promise I won't be upset." Tommy takes a deep breath, as if gathering courage for something important. "My dad told me that you're sick now and can't play baseball anymore. He said you have the same disease that killed my Uncle Frank last year. I was wondering, are you scared? And if you are scared, how do you still seem so happy when you talk to us?" The room goes completely silent. The other children sense that Tommy has asked something serious and important. Dr. Foster moves slightly closer, ready to intervene if the conversation becomes too difficult. Lou feels his throat tighten and his eyes begin to fill with tears, not because Tommy's question is upsetting, but because it's so honest and direct and caring. For a moment, Lou can't speak. Tommy's question cuts through all the polite conversations he's had with adults over the past 2 weeks, all the careful discussions about his condition and his future plans. Tommy is asking the one question that really matters. How do you find happiness when you're facing something terrible? "Tommy," Lou says slowly, his voice thick with emotion, "that's the best question anyone has asked me since I got sick. And yes, I am scared sometimes. I'm scared of getting weaker, scared of not being able to take care of my wife, scared of leaving behind people I love." The children are completely attentive now, sensing they're witnessing something important and honest. "But Tommy, sitting here with all of you today, I realize something that I haven't understood before. I spent so much time thinking about what this disease is taking away from me that I forgot to think about what I still have." Lou looks around the room at the faces of these children, each dealing with their own health challenges, each finding ways to be interested and excited and hopeful despite their circumstances. "I have a wife who loves me. I have friends who care about me. I had a career playing a game I loved for people who appreciated it. I have memories of experiences that most people only dream about. And today I have the chance to sit in this room with 15 remarkable children who remind me that being sick doesn't mean you stop being curious or brave or kind." Tommy nods thoughtfully. "So you think you're lucky even though you have a scary disease?" And there it is. The question that crystallizes everything Lou has been struggling to understand about his situation. Tommy's 8-year-old logic cuts through all the complexity and confusion and gets to the heart of what matters. "Tommy, I think I'm the luckiest man alive." The words surprise Lou even as he says them. They feel true in a way that catches him off guard. True in a way that no polite consolation or medical optimism has felt true. In this room, surrounded by children who are facing their own health challenges with remarkable courage and grace, Lou suddenly understands what real luck means. "I don't understand," says Bobby, the 7-year-old stamp collector. "How can you be lucky if you're sick?" "Because, Bobby, luck isn't about never having problems. Luck is about having good things in your life that matter more than the problems. I'm lucky because I got to play baseball for 16 years. I'm lucky because I have people who love me. I'm lucky because I'm strong enough to handle being sick without losing sight of what's good." Susan, the 11-year-old who wants to be a reporter, raises her hand. Mr. Gehrig, if you think you're the luckiest man alive, does that mean we're lucky too, even though we're in the hospital? Lou looks at Susan and realizes she's understood something profound. Susan, you're asking exactly the right question. What do you think? Do you feel lucky? Susan considers this seriously. I think so. I'm lucky because my family visits every day. I'm lucky because the doctors are helping me get better. I'm lucky because I get to meet famous baseball players. She grins at this last part, and the other children laugh. That's exactly right, Susan. Being lucky doesn't mean nothing bad ever happens to you. Being lucky means you can find good things, even when bad things happen too. Tommy raises his hand again. Mr. Gehrig, when you leave here today, will you remember that you're the luckiest man alive, even when you're scared? Tommy, I promise you that I will never forget what you helped me understand today. And whenever I feel sorry for myself, I'm going to think about you and Susan and Bobby and all the other children I met today and remember what real courage and real luck look like. Dr. Foster has tears in her eyes watching this conversation unfold. She's seen hundreds of celebrity visits to the hospital, but she's never witnessed anything like this exchange between a terminally ill athlete and a room full of sick children discovering wisdom together. The visit continues for another hour, with Lou distributing the gifts he brought and signing autographs for each child. But the conversation with Tommy has changed the energy in the room. The children seem more thoughtful, more aware that they've participated in something important. Lou feels lighter than he has in weeks, as if a weight he didn't know he was carrying has been lifted. As Lou prepares to leave, Tommy approaches him with a piece of paper. Mr. Gehrig, I wrote something for you. My mom taught me how to write thank you notes, and I wanted to thank you for answering my question. Lou takes the paper and reads Tommy's careful handwriting. Dear Mr. Gehrig, thank you for telling us that being scared is okay and being lucky is about good things, not about no bad things. I will remember that I am lucky too. Your friend, Tommy Murphy. Lou kneels down to Tommy's eye level. Tommy, you gave me something today that's more valuable than anything I could give you. You helped me understand something about my life that I couldn't see by myself. Thank you. 3 weeks later, on July 4th, 1939, Lou Gehrig stands at home plate in Yankee Stadium to give his farewell speech to 61,000 fans. As he approaches the microphone, he thinks about Tommy Murphy's question and the conversation that followed. The words that Tommy helped him discover in that hospital playroom become the foundation for the most famous speech in sports history. Fans, for the past 2 weeks, you have been reading about the bad break I got. Yet today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Tommy Murphy, listening to the speech on the radio from his hospital bed, recognizes the words and the sentiment. He doesn't fully understand the historical significance of what he's hearing, but he knows that he and Lou Gehrig shared something important that day, something that helped both of them understand what it means to be truly fortunate. Lou Gehrig's farewell speech becomes immortal, not just because of its eloquence or its poignancy, but because it captures a truth that an 8-year-old boy helped him discover, that gratitude and perspective can transform even the most difficult circumstances into reasons for feeling blessed. Tommy Murphy grows up to become a teacher, drawn to working with children, partly because of his experience with Lou Gehrig. He often tells his students about the day he met a famous baseball player, and learned that asking honest questions can help people find important answers about their lives. 70 years later, Tommy Murphy, now in his 70s, gives an interview to a sports writer researching the origins of Lou Gehrig's famous speech. People always ask about the courage it took for Lou Gehrig to call himself the luckiest man alive while he was dying. Tommy says, "But what I remember is how happy he looked when he figured out that it was true. Sometimes the most important discoveries happen when you're 8 years old and you don't know you're supposed to be afraid to ask the hard questions." Lou Gehrig's Luckiest Man speech echoes through generations of athletes, patients, and ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges. But its roots trace back to a conversation between a terminally ill baseball player and a group of children who taught him that wisdom often comes from the most unexpected sources. Who in your life asks the kind of honest, direct questions that help you see your situation more clearly? Sometimes the most profound insights come from people who haven't yet learned that certain questions are supposed to be too difficult to ask. Tommy Murphy's innocent curiosity gave Lou Gehrig the perspective that created one of the most inspiring messages in American history, that even in our worst moments we can choose to focus on what makes us fortunate rather than what makes us afraid.